While many folks are visiting Saladin for their new Iron Banner gear and bounties, if there are any bounties still, I honestly don't even remember, but there is always new Eververse stuff to go through. Now, I will actually mention something. On the front page, a good majority of the things that roll through here are things available at any point during the season that you can buy with silver at any point, but a good majority of the exotic emotes that actually pop up on the weekly offerings page right here are not available at any time, because if you actually look in the archive for the seasonal offerings, exotic emotes don't really show up here for some reason. So if there's any exotic emotes you do see on the front page, I recommend you pick them up now in case you want to get them, because they might show up in the Bright Dust, but if you want to make sure you get them, you have to buy them for silver per the usual. But speaking of buying, if you want to buy things for Bright Dust, starting off we have Cursed Azure from this season, which, won't lie, it's not that terrible of a look. It doesn't really look that bad, although I'd say this might be a better look for guns than armor because it looks a little bit dirty. Then for a transmit we have Ossified Entrance, which basically turns you into I think a scorpion tail if I had to imagine what it's supposed to be. But it's hard to say just because it's a full circle. And then for a ship, one from last season, Exosporagnian, which is a part of the Egregore set, which is a ship with overgrown Egregore covering it so it's communing with the darkness. Then one shell from this season, the Photovoltaic shell, which if you could imagine is a part of the solar energy, what's the word? Solar cosmetic set. Let me just say that. So yeah, it's not a part of Solar 3.0, it's just solar energy. Then into the main Bright Dust store, through our flares, we have Levito Core from Forsaken, which is, it's not terrible. If you get the right armor set, I'm sure this could actually look better, but it doesn't look that great on mine, if I'm honest. Then we also have Coastal Suede, or Suede, however you want to say it, which this one actually doesn't look half bad if you actually want to create a sort of aquatic look. It's nice black and nice blue, and some subtle glows to it as well in case you are looking for glowing. Then we also have Laguna Cruiser from Season of the Hunt, which is another one very similar. It's a bit of an aquatic idea, but at the same time, it's more metallic, lighter color tones in case you're looking for that. And then we also have Reef Regalia from Season of the Lost, which is basically if you wanted to look like the Corsairs in your color palette. You get a nice dark green, some purple, but that's pretty much it to everything. You look real Reefborn. Then into transmats, we have Reef Awoken, a transmat from Forsaken, a pretty not that spectacular one. And then we have Loot Chest Effects from Season of Opulence, which is you popping out of a crate. Another not too spectacular one. And then we also have the Pyramid Entrance from Season Lost, which is mighty freaking spooky. Plus, I just love that color palette. Honestly, the black with that solid gold red, or glowing red, is great. Now, for items specifically, we have another, which is basically the Slamming Coffee emote, which is you just smashing that and then grabbing more and then keeping them going. Then one from Season of the Haunted, Buzz Off, which is basically a... You know what? That's actually a great emote. I do love the idea of that. I imagine it's just an infinite one of a little nightmare energy just following you around and you just trying to swat it away. But it seems infinite until it's not, and it just actually buzzes off. Then we also have Halcyon Visage from Season of the Hunt, which is a kind of retro look to it. I forget what this is supposed to be, if this is like a Game Boy or Back to the Future set or something like that, but I forget what it's truly supposed to be, but it's a nice little retro sparrow. Then we also have Synchrotron Advancer, which is a ship from Season of the Chosen, which doesn't look half bad. I do use this on my Hunter. It shades pretty well, if I actually recall, going through some of the ideas. It looks fast. I'd recommend this if you want something that looks fast. Then, as well, we have the 14th Amendment. While I'm stumbling over my words, Editing Scorpion is here, and I forgot about the other two classes. So basically, for the other two classes, we have Mantle of Remembrance for the Hunter, which is the Dragon Scale look for Shinobu's Vow, and then we also have the Want of Lies and Wishes, which is the Ahamkara Skull look for Skull of Dire Ahamkara, in case you wanted to know the other two classes. Let me try that again. The 14th Anamensis, there we go, which is the same 14 ornament, one of the only ones that existed for a long time, but I gotta admit, it really loses out to the Saintly Visage now that it's here. It looks good as an idea of an ornament. Of course, it is dented, and not many people actually vote for a dented and damaged look, unless it's very thematic. Then, new addition from last season, Snakebite, which is a... How am I forgetting the word? Huckleberry ornament, in case you actually wanted a cowboy in snakeskin leather. So, you know, it's here. It's for Bright Dust, $12.50 if you want it. You grab it if you want it. Thank God I didn't pay for silver for it, because I can pay it for free. And lastly, as usual, a random projection in the form of the Pegasus projection. And with that, that is everything available for the Bright Dust store, and anything on sale is, of course, seen. The Unfamiliar Brine bundle there, I believe that is on sale for 13% off as of this week. And then, of course, aside from that, is everything available for Bright Dust that will rotate. And per the usual, I would just say my usual spiel. If there's anything that you see in the store that you want, get it now, because otherwise you'll have to buy it for silver, and you might not be able to get it for another month until it comes back around eventually. With that, my name is Matt Scorpion. I'll see you in the next video.